quick, I want to show you today. I say I'm not going to use slides, and I go to my slides. Okay. So I'm going to show you today one simple system that I use on social media. If you want to know all about social media, go watch the training that Jeff is talking about on EXP University's YouTube channel. But today I'm going to teach you one simple system. That's it. Because social media is a crazy world. It's changing every single day. What you did yesterday isn't valid today. So I'm going to just teach you one simple system today. Okay? So before we get started, I would love if you can dive in the chat. Here's your responses I would love from you. Just simple responses, 1, 2, or 3. This is how you feel about social media. 1, it's sporadic. I only post when I remember to. 2, it's strategic. I have a plan, but it's not really consistent. Or 3, social media is a system. It is a repeatable content system that you do every single day without fail. All right, I love it. I'm seeing 1, 2, 3. I'm seeing some 3s, which I love. So I think the 3s will really love what I'm going to show you today. 2, 1. Okay, even the 1s are going to love what I'm going to show you today because it's simple. So real quick, those of you who are like a 1, I would love to know what's the biggest hurdle you have with social media. If you feel like it's super sporadic and you just post when you remember, what's the biggest hurdle that you have? Awesome. Thank you, Jocelyn. Time. What to post? Okay, I love it. Let's be real. Time, post, what to post, or time, what to post. Anyone else? What about those of you who are 2? You have a plan, but you're not consistent with it. What about those who are 2? Content. And Carmen, when you say content, is that like a what to post? Is that what that means? All right. All right. So the good news is, thank you, Carmen. So the good news is all of you today, I'm going to give you one thing that's going to answer all these questions. First of all, it's not going to take a lot of time, right? Can we all say yes to that? No, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Second is what to post, right? And third is and the direction and what to do, right? So I'm going to answer all of those for you today with one simple system. Now, I am going to tell you, I lean heavily on Instagram. I love Instagram. So those of you who are not on Instagram, you can also use this for Facebook, but you're just going to have to figure out how it's going to relate because of the screenshots I'm going to show you are going to be from Instagram. So I'm heavily on Instagram. Okay, so let me get back into it here. Okay, so real quick, a little bit about me. Jeff shared a little bit of it, but this is my story in 60 seconds. I came from corporate America. I had a team of 200 people. I got into real estate, built nearly $100 million in total sales. And like he said, I completely burned out. I was working 18-hour days. I had a negative P&L. I burned it all down and I rebuilt everything using systems. And I went all in on social media. And from there, I did about $70 million of my total sales purely from organic social media with no ad spend, no cold calling, just a simple, repeatable system. And now I built my entire business around helping other agents do the same thing, which is why Jeff had me come today. So any questions on that or anything you want to say about that, please go ahead and put it in the chat. Here's what I've noticed about real estate agents over the years, helping them with social media. There are 4 reasons that agents mostly struggle. They post when they feel like it. Okay, there's no system, no consistency. Some of you just said that. You attract followers, but never really get conversation started. So you tend to give up on it and think it doesn't actually work. You're spending hours on content that doesn't actually generate leads, or you think you might need more followers, which is why you're not converting from social media. Does anyone relate to any of those things? I'm going to tell you all of this right now is you don't need more followers. I'm going to show you how I closed 10 million in 2023 from Instagram with less than 2,000 followers. In fact, I think I had 1,600 followers at the time. All you need is the right system, okay? So this is what I call the guess the price system. We're just going to get right into it. So those of you who are not on your phone, you can feel free to pull up your phone. You can take screenshots of this, whatever you want. But it's what I call the guess the price system. It is a very, very simple lead generation tool. And the basic idea is that you find a home with a feature that stops people mid-scroll. I'm talking like kitchen, pool, waterfront, and then you film it. You can use your own stories. You can use your own listings. You can use other people's listings, following your own MLS rules, okay? Because some MLSs do not like you to take photos of other people, so just follow your own rules. But it's a very simple system, okay? And it's probably going to feel like it's so simple it's not going to work. That's literally how I felt when I first started doing something like this, was like, that's so easy. How so simple? How come I never tried it before? Because no one ever taught me. You're going to go and find a listing that has a jaw-dropping feature. Step one. You probably have your own right now. If you don't, maybe someone on this call has one you can use, okay? Find a listing that has a very jaw-dropping feature. Then I want you to go to that house, to that listing, and I want you to take video. So take video of that feature, just the one feature, not the whole house. This is the other thing that a lot of people do wrong. When I say home tours on social media, we get a whole dialogue of an entire house. Here's the thing about social media. Do you know how much attention you get from people on social media? Do you know how many seconds of attention you get? 2. You get 2 seconds of attention. So how many of you are going out and filming home tours that are 30 minutes long? And you're like, oh, this is the best home tour I've ever done. And then you post it and you get like, wah wah. It's like crickets on the other end, right? Because you have 2 seconds of people's attention. This is a world of ADHD, a million different AI tools out there, right? There's so many things happening right now that you have 2 seconds. So when you think about going to get photo or videos of listings, it literally has to be walk in and your jaw drops. Thinking about what content, right? Walk in is like, oh my God, look at that backyard. Oh my God, that view is the best view I've ever seen. It's got to be that. Like literally you walk in and your jaw drops. Okay. That's what it has to be. And when you do that and you take video of it, then you're going to do something simple by posting it in your stories. So one post on your stories, and you're going to use the poll feature. I'll tell you what or the quiz feature. I'm going to tell you what that looks like in just a minute. And then you're going to start a conversation with everyone who looked at that story. Okay? 3 steps. Is it 4? I don't know. Find the listing. Go take a video of it. Post it to your stories. Use the poll feature or the quiz feature, sorry. And then start the conversation. All right, so let me show you what this actually looks like. So the way the system works is you take a video like this one. Okay, so this is what I took a video. This is Saturday home tours in Gig Harbor. So I'm in, is anyone familiar with Seattle? Besides Jeff, you said your wife is from here. Okay, so we have a lot of water. Okay, we are surrounded by water, and waterfront views are to die for around here in most places. Gig Harbor is one of them. Okay, and so I like to go around to other waterfront views. I'll go to open houses, by the way. I'm going to tangent for just a second. Anyone Agent Attract? Okay. I know Jeff and Kathy do. Tim does. Cool. Here's the best thing about visiting, doing this and visiting open houses. You get to talk to the other agent, and the other agent wants to know what you're doing, because you're like, hey, I'm going to go and I'm going to make this turn into business. And they're like, how are you doing that? And you're like, oh my gosh, let me show you. Like the best way to attract agents. So there you go. Okay, sorry, I had to go off on that for a second. So anyway, you go to the other listing and you take a video, like I said, and you just let them know. I do this in open houses. You can do it. You can schedule your own showings or whatever you want to do too. But I like to do open houses because I like to talk to other agents. And then you literally go to Instagram and you post a quiz. Guess the price. And so this is a series. I did 3 different tours. So I'll do 3 in a weekend, like on a Saturday, I'll go visit 3 waterfront home tours, and I'll do a guess the price on each one of them. I'm just showing you an example of one of them right now. Okay. So you do a guess the price, and I put 4 different prices. You can do 3. 3 is really all you need. I did 4, and I go anywhere $9.95, 1.475, 1.2, and 1.65. And there's a few things I'm doing with this. Few things I'm doing, and strategically why I'm doing it is A, I love to sell waterfront homes. Why? Because I'm very selfish in what I like to sell, because I want a waterfront home. So I like to sell waterfront homes. B, because everybody likes waterfront homes. That's why a lot of people live in this area, because they love the water. C, I'm filtering by the prices here. I'm filtering for the buyer that I'm looking for. So I'm strategically going and looking at homes that have a higher price point, because that's the buyer or the seller that I'm looking for. And if I'm posting listings that are priced at $495, I'm going to find buyers looking at $495. But if I'm posting listings looking at $1.65, I'm going to find buyers at $1.65. And the best thing about it is that when they respond, you're going to get this here, and they're going to tell you, here's the answer, 1.65. And I'm going to show you how to turn these into conversations in a minute. But the reason I like to do this, A, is because if you use a quiz feature on Instagram, the best part is that people don't have to think except for to press a button. When I have to ask them a question, I want them to reply or comment something, they don't respond as much. So if you guys have been using stories that way, or even your content, by the way, if your content is asking people to think about a response, they're not going to respond. Because again, how much time do you have to keep their attention? And so if you give them options to respond, they're going to click one response. Is that a side-by-side photo or is it in a carousel? Uh, yes, Laura, that's a great question. It's actually a carousel, so it was actually three different story slides. So I had this. So this is the first slide, and you can do it on a carousel too. It's going to work better on your stories because it is a short-term thing. Stories on Instagram last for 24 hours. Your feed lasts for about 30 seconds. You get more views on your stories, more engaged views on your stories than you do on your content, unless you have a really good content machine running all the time. You're going to have much better results in your stories. So this is really, I had how I did three different views of this particular house with the quiz followed by it. Does that answer your question, Laura? And then Scott says the algorithm, everything 2 seconds, then next post. Yes, that's 100%, right? So why not let the thing that stops them for 3 seconds be yours, but don't make it stop. Don't make them stop for more than a minute because they're not going to do it. So anyway, then you turn this into conversations, okay? And you can see here, and I'm going to show this more deeply, but you can see here that these are real responses. It's a post I actually did, and that last message is like my aunt is looking for a home. She's moving back from Minnesota. Right? This is without me having a cold call. These are people that are already in my sphere on Instagram. Okay. This is not running ads. This is literally just me going and doing my job and looking at houses. Fun, pretty houses. And actually, I'm going to be honest, this house itself wasn't that pretty. The only thing about this house was the waterfront. It was literally the only thing. And was it 1.65 million? I don't know if I would have spent that much money, but that's what it was priced at. And it got me buyers looking at that number, right? So I asked people to guess the price, as you can see, and that's how the conversation started, and that is the system. Very simple. I know I went over it real fast. I'm going to show you more here in just a minute. I love it.
And the
Okay.
quiz feature is something that is on an Instagram story.
Yeah, I'll
You
show
didn't set
that.
like a
I'll show
poll.
that at the end. I'll do a screen share and show you how to do it.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so that's this. It's very simple. Okay. And I know like when I prefaced a minute ago and I said it seems so simple, it's like, how does it actually work? It's because it's like literally I just showed it to you in like, what is that, 5 minutes? That's how quick it is. Because you're already going to be out. How many of you are already going out doing previews of homes or showing homes, right? Even if you're a listing agent, you're still going out and looking at houses. You're looking at the comparable properties around the area. So like just utilize that to start getting more traction on your social media. Okay. Jocelyn said, when you go to the open house, you ask permission always. If the agents are like, hey, do you mind if I take a couple of videos or a couple of photos and post on social? Most of the time they say, yeah. I don't think I've only ever had someone say no one time. And, the thing is, what you're not doing, I'm going to share what not to do with something like this. If you notice, is you're not putting the address. You're not putting the MLS number. You're not putting any features. And that's like one thing that I tend to see real estate agents do a lot of times with content is we give away all the juice, right? And why should they call you? Why should they call you? There's no reason because you're giving away everything they need. And once you give away the address, guess where they go? Zillow. Once you give away the MLS number, guess where they go? Zillow. Right? People know how to look that up. So I give away the city and a feature. And that's it's the curiosity. We have this big, people have FOMO so bad. They want to know exactly what it is. And the best part is, even some of these people who aren't even interested in buying today, they're still going to talk to you. Okay, so let me go to some of the response features here. Okay, so here's how I respond. So I'm giving them three responses, right? I'm giving them a low answer, a correct answer, and a high answer. Okay, and so what I do is I say something simple. I'm so glad you played along. Are you keeping an eye on
Right.
the market or are you just having fun with it? Values in this area have actually moved a lot. Are you thinking about buying? Are you thinking about selling? Super simple. And one thing I didn't put on my slide earlier when I wrote what people do wrong is a lot of times we forget like how to talk to people in DMs. We just forget. I have so many people think, what do I say to this? And I'm like, dude, what would you say if you were in person with that person? If you were like talking to a person over a cup of coffee and they started talking about home values in their area, would you naturally ask them, why are you asking about home values? Why does it matter? Are you thinking about selling? And if you wouldn't, then that's a whole different conversation. But when people bring up values and prices of homes, there's a reason. Okay. People aren't like, if they're really curious what their home value is, guess where they can go? Anytime, right? Zillow, Redfin, they got it all. But when people are talking to you about it, they know you're a real estate agent because you're probably, hopefully, not hiding that. Okay, no secret agents on here. So they know you're a real estate agent and they know that they're going to talk to you about something that you have expertise in. So turn that expertise into business or leads. So let's go back to this real quick. Here we go. If they guess correct, I like to say you got a good eye. Have you been following this market closely? Or is this area on your radar for a reason? And if they guess high, you're not far off. This market has been strong. Are you thinking about selling or just scoping out what's out there? Three different ways. And in a minute, I'll give you like the whole conversation framework, but I want to show you real life how this works. So you can see these three conversations started when someone tapped on a quiz. Okay, one turned into a referral for her mom moving to Everett, which is way north of me, like way out of my geographic area. But do you think I sold that house? 100%, right? Because I didn't have to do anything. I mean, I did. I shouldn't say I didn't have to do anything. I did do something, but I didn't have to spend a lot of time on it because she already knew. She was coming to me saying, hey, we want to buy this house. Okay, because I did all the work converting her through my stories. The other piece is this one, these two here, when you're talking about her grandmother, her aunt, or somebody was moving back from Minnesota, home prices in coming from Minnesota to Seattle. Ooh, it's a culture shock when you look at home prices out here compared to there. Okay, so this is where her aunt was moving back from Minnesota. Like I said, she was shell shocked, and it turned into, wanting to buy a house. This one is someone who actually was in my sphere, and this is why I promote Instagram and promote social so much and not being a secret agent on social. This one is, she was actually someone that I worked with in corporate America. I hadn't talked to her in about 2 years. And she voted on my story, my poll, the price. Guess the price. And I literally just said, hey, thanks for voting on my poll. And how are you doing? I'm busy, doing well, merging two households. Okay, what is she? She's literally telling me everything I need to know about her right now. Right, merging two households. My mom's 87. We needed to have her move in here, right? So did I have a referral for her in Portland? 100%, right? So like she's telling me everything I need. So all of this is just literally comes from doing something like this. So if you're posting on social right now and you don't know what to post, I'm going to give you permission to only post one thing and post it in your stories. Because what's going to happen is only going to last for 24 hours. So if you're afraid of what people are going to think, don't worry. Your stories don't have that much engagement on it, but it's more of a quality versus quantity thing. And when we're focusing so much on posting content on our feed all the time, what happens is we worry about quantity. We worry about who looked at my post, how many views did I get, how many followers did I get, how much engagement did I get. We worry about that versus the quality. Because if you think about social media is a funnel. You all know how sales funnel works, right? You have top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, bottom of the funnel. When I look at Instagram or I look at Facebook, your bottom of the funnel is your stories. Those people are they're the closest to making a decision if they're in your stories and they're engaging with you. The people, like when you're going out and you're posting something on Facebook, especially for those of you who voted yourself a 1, you're posting your like sporadically, just kind of like, oh, I felt like posting, right? And then you post, oh, just listed, just sold. Okay. That's why you're not getting, and you're not using your stories. That's why social media is not working for you. So focus on your stories. I'm going to have you go to the very bottom, the low hanging fruit. We like low hanging fruit, right? We like to find somebody who's ready now. Okay. Long-term nurture is harder for most real estate agents that I talk to. There's a very few that have the long-term nurture down like a science. Most of us are like, what's here? What's now? Let's go. Let's get it. So this is how you get it. Let's get the dopamine fix. Get those people in your stories who are like, hey, I want to talk about this right now. All you have to do is be a human and turn their hand raising, which is clicking a button. All you have to do is answer them when they raise their hand. That's the best part about this strategy. I want to show you the conversation framework right now because it's the other question I get is, what do I say? How do I say it, etc. So there's an actual full framework. Take a photo of this, but it's a 7-step framework. And this is how you get them off your social media into your CRM. Open. So glad you played along. Are you watching the market? I just gave you those openers a second ago. Then you got to dig a little bit further. And by the way, this framework is the exact same framework you can take with you to your networking events, your coffee dates, your parties, all the other things where you're going to talk to people. This is the conversation framework. Open, dig a little bit deeper, explore even further, validate their concerns, reframe their question, reflect back on what you're hearing, invite them to something. That's how the conversation framework works. This works for agent attraction. This works for buying and selling homes. This works for everything, right? And what you do is you plug them into your CRM. A second ago, I said a lot of real estate agents are really, the long-term nurture is a tough, tough piece. Does anyone relate to that? Does anyone on this call struggle with the long-term nurture? I would say 95% of real estate agents struggle with long-term nurture. So I'm going to show you one simple tool. I like simple. Simple. I love simple. Simple makes me happy. I'm going to show you one simple tool that you can get people to directly from your Instagram into so you can nurture them on autopilot. Okay, some of you may have heard of this tool. Some of you may even use this tool. And awesome if you do. What I do is I plug them directly into HomeBot. How many of you use HomeBot? What I love about HomeBot, first of all, mine is fully optimized. I have a 79% open rate. Okay. Emails getting a 79% open rate is literally unheard of. That's why I like HomeBot. And it's fully optimized. So when people plug in, they're getting video of me everywhere. Video, video, video. HomeBot is optimized with video. And most people who are guessing the price are secretly wondering what their own home is worth, but they're not going to tell you yet because a lot of people have fear that real estate agents are going to be pushy, even if you know them, right? They're going to, and a lot of them, if you know them, they're just going to be more like, I don't want to waste your time because I'm not quite ready. And you and I both know they don't have to be ready today. We just want to be top of mind when they are. And they don't know that. But they're telling you back here that they're curious. They're like, I'm curious. So HomeBot is where I put them because it keeps that door open automatically. Every single month or every single month, every single quarter, they are getting a market update. Someone just asked, what's HomeBot? HomeBot is a home valuation tool, quite simply put. Is the home value accurate? No. Is Zillow accurate? No. Why would they go here versus Zillow? Because my face is on it. That's why. HomeBot also has a buyer tool. So those people who are like curious about buying, you can set them up in a buyer as a buyer in HomeBot, and HomeBot will send them automatic updates every month on what the market's doing in the areas that they've searched. So this is what I use to nurture them on autopilot. And I have a follow-up boss integration, so they automatically go into follow-up boss as well. But for those of you who struggle with what should my workflow look like? What should my email campaigns look like? What do I do? Don't worry about it. Just get them in HomeBot and then worry about the other stuff later. Those are all things that we need to like tackle, but not right now. Dopamine. Okay. Anyone else have ADHD? I love dopamine. Okay. So I'm like, give me the dopamine fix now. Get people in HomeBot now. Right. So I go and look at this all the time. And so this is where the system becomes really smart. I don't really have to do anything. So when I'm taking them through the framework, my invitation here is, hey, I can pull together a snapshot of your situation. What's your address? What's your email address? And plug them into HomeBot. That's how it works. So super simple. So that is essentially my system for getting them from my Instagram into, because what's going to happen is because this is here, it's sending them emails every month. They're going to remember you. And that's where you stop chasing business and the business starts coming to you. Because what happens then is people start sending you emails and texts 2, 3, 4 years later. Hey, Linnea, I've been getting your HomeBot reports every single month for the last 3 years, and I think I'm finally ready to explore selling my house. And they got in here because of something stupid simple. Stupid simple. Is it John Sheplack who says, keep it stupid simple, right? Stupid simple.
Doesn't it notify you too if they open it and look at it?
Yep. If they open it, if they edit, if they go in and change their home value, I can do a little, if you guys haven't seen HomeBot, I can show you kind of how it works. But yes, that is essentially, if they go in and they think the price is wrong on it, they're going to make the modification, which is cool because they can interact with HomeBot. Like they can't do that with Zillow, right? Zillow's just like, here's your value. And they're like, no, or yeah, right? But with HomeBot, they can actually interact with it. And it sends you an alert via text message if you have it integrated with Follow-Up Boss. If you have it, or you have emails, it'll send you all 3 notifications that they interacted and they want a CMA. And then the call, if someone wants a CMA, is so much easier than someone who just randomly clicked your ad on Facebook.
Doesn't a lender have to help you get that set up?
For video, yeah. So yeah, 100%. Lenders, like they have to pay a lot more. For you as an agent, it's $25 a month plus sales tax, wherever that is in your area. And you can have up to 500 contacts in there. You don't need more than 500. You don't need more than 500.
It's very cheap. And one of the best things about it, we've had it, my wife and I've had it for several years now with the lender. And 25 bucks a month. I mean, the open rate on the emails going out is huge. That's one of the, it's we get over 50% open rate on those.
Yeah.
And you can
It's
see people
insane.
like when they go in there month after month after month and you can see all their activity. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, there's somebody I need to call. So
Yeah, it's
it's
cool
pretty
because
good
it'll
about that.
send you like each week it'll send you like what your activity has been and you can see like the most I think I showed on my screen share here. I'm gonna pull it up real quick and show you. Real quick, I want to go to Maria's question. Would you put a poll out for a just sold? Yeah, I totally would do it for a just sold. I think that's a great idea. So she said, would you put a quiz out for a just sold, like do the same thing I showed you, but then use, yeah, absolutely, 100%. I would totally do that. And then Ryan said, is it Ryan or Ryan? What's your dialogue from Instagram to HomeBot? Basically what I just told you on the framework. I can pull that slide up again if you want me to pull that up for you. I can put it there. But it's literally like when someone's asking, like, what's her home value? You start the conversation, they're going to tell you, you're going to know when the time is right. I'll just say, what's your email? What's your phone number? Let me get this set up for you. So I'll give you that framework here. But that's how simple it is, right? So, I could have come on here and given you, I could have come on here and given you a whole social media system, and I have a full social media system that I teach people. But the reality is, I want you to actually walk away today with one thing that you can implement today, and I want you to do it because the biggest gap between knowledge and results is execution. So if you want to actually start getting results, those of you who are like, I'm kind of sporadic on social media, or those of you who even said you do have a system, like, is that system producing for you or converting for you on repeat all the time when you're sleeping? If not, there's always improvements to be made. And so I hope that you can take at least one thing that I showed you away from this and be able to implement it because it's going to take a massive amount of work. So I told you real quick, I would show you why I put them in HomeBot. I mean, yes, like I said, I do have Follow Up Boss, and I get them in Follow Up Boss also. I don't let Follow Up Boss do the heavy lifting for me because Follow Up Boss does require, even though I might have action plans and workflows in there that are gonna like convert. I let HomeBot do it because the number one nurture tool that you have at your fingertips is home values and home searches. Those are the number one tool. Your email campaigns are just icing on the cake. And a lot of times I see that we spend a lot of our time, just like with content on social media, trying to spend all of our time in getting the posting right. And we forget the conversion tool. We forget the money making activity. Money making happens in your stories on social. That's how it works. It's very rare. In all the social media that I've sold, I've never had someone comment on one of my posts and be like, I want you to help me sell my house. That's literally never how it's happened. It's always happened in my DMs. It's always happened because maybe there was something that I said on my stories or in my post that led them to my DMs, or maybe something like a poll or something. That's how it happens. It's never been, oh, Linnea, I'll comment on Facebook. I want you to sell my house. This is not how it works, right? People want to talk to you. They want to be a real human. Here's what I was going to tell you. For the best things about HomeBot, those of you who asked what it is, real quick, Jeff put a link in there. Go check it out. But this is why I like it. So you can see 373 total. I told you, I've never even filled up 500. I've had a HomeBot since 2018. This is like the very first tool I invested in when I started my business. I've like removed so many people from here. Like 373 is all I need. So 25 bucks a month. This is like the cheapest tool. Man, I spend so much more money on so many other things. Okay. And I know Fellow's a big thing right now. I really haven't looked into Fellow. I still have never made the switch from HomeBot to Fellow. I like HomeBot. HomeBot works for me, so I'm not going to switch it. Okay. But it's cool because it shows you there's 28 people in here who are looking for refi, which does put my lender and we have a better relationship because she's actually working with these people because her name's on there as well. There's one who listed, oh, darn it. It shows me what miss I got. Darn it. I missed someone. One person just listed their home for sale. Dang it. And then there's people who are likely to buy, people who have high equity. And so it kind of lets you filter them down, right? And then you have people who are sending you messages, This is the best part about it. Like I've sold this client like 4 houses, and they're like, "Oh, let's sell this one, right?" And so I texted him, of course, but he didn't even have to send me a text message because he's getting this. It's just reminding him, Linnea, I want to talk about selling this house now. So that's like the best part about all of it, and that's why I get them directly from here into HomeBot because HomeBot to me is the best long-term nurture tool that I could possibly use that doesn't allow me to have to worry so much about updating my marketing campaigns. Doesn't have to have me so worry about like setting up the action plans and the right triggers inside Follow Up Boss. There's so many techie things you have to worry about when you're moving into your CRM. And don't get me wrong, I am a systems person. I love Follow Up Boss. But most of the time, we're starting out in this position where, hey, we think we're posting the wrong thing on social. And then we don't know how to turn when you finally start to learn something like this, it's really cool. You don't know how to turn that into a conversation or how to turn that into a nurture. So we just forget about them. So if you can just practice the framework, those of you who wanted it, here you go. If you just practice the framework of conversations, you move people right on in, voila, they start coming to you on autopilot. All right. Any other questions about that? Any questions about the system? Any questions about anything?
Are you able to do like just actually show us a setup of like when
Yeah.
you with the story and doing the poll?
Yeah, actually, let me grab my
See
phone.
that?
Okay, so I want to show you on Instagram via cable here. Okay, so I am gonna post a story. Okay, this is a picture of my husband and me when I got him to actually leave the house and go for a walk with me. He normally doesn't like to walk with me, but I got him to go, so I was super excited. Okay, so when you go into Instagram, why is it not working? Why is quiz not there? Okay, we're gonna go poll. So see here how the sticker says poll right here? Okay, you're gonna go and you're gonna be like, guess the price. And you're gonna put in 1 million, 1.6 million, or whatever your prices are. 1.5, you're gonna give them a wrong one, a correct one, and a low one. 500K. Such random ones. Okay. And then when you post that, what's going to happen is that this is now going to pop up on your stories. So everyone's just going to come and click a button. I'm going to totally post this. Will someone do me a favor and go to my Instagram and vote on this so I can show you? Just go here. I'll give you my link real quick here. It's just at Linnea Carver. Just find my name on Instagram. I'm going to post this, but you have to go to my stories and do this because people are going to be like, what the heck?
Are we guessing the price on your husband?
Yeah, you're guessing the price on my husband. Other device. Okay, so what's going to happen here is when someone votes on it, my husband's going to be like, "What are you doing?" I'll be like, "It's a thing." So I can vote on my own. Okay.
Unless you get a really good offer.
Well, yeah, unless I get a really good offer, 100%, right? And then here, usually it will tell me if someone voted, but if not, I'll go here. There we go. Okay, so now you can see that I have a few people that went to it. I'm the only one that voted though. It doesn't look like Jocelyn, Jeff, or Creative Bradford voted. It would show you. See how down at the bottom how it says who viewed this story? It'll tell you who voted on this story. So then what I would do is I'd go to Jocelyn and I'd be like, thanks for voting on my poll. On my poll. On my poll. What has you looking at prices right now? And so Jocelyn would get the message. So, Jocelyn, I think I saw your name on this call, so I didn't just send that to a random person. But but that's how it works. It's super simple. So you just have to go and you have to monitor your stories to make sure that people are actually doing it and talk to the people. I also like to send polls to the people messages to the people who just looked at it. Like I'll go into my story here and I'll be like, look, so this one came back and said, hey, can we have a meeting? I'm like, oh yeah, of course. Look at that. I just learned that. But I'll go to the people who are in here and I'll send them messages too. Like I'll be like, oh hey, thanks. It's good to see you, Lyle. I haven't talked to her in forever. Used to run marathons with her. Oh my God, I haven't seen her on my stories forever. Like for real. But then I'll go through to all these people and I'll just monitor these people. And you can literally just start stories with these people and be like, here's an idea. Here. Long time no see, exclamation point. How are you? Question mark. So that's literally how I start conversations in my stories. That help? So utilize your stories. Like if you're not, I want to give you, like I said, I want to give you permission. If you're struggling with what to actually post on your feed, don't post anything for right now. Post on your stories. Let your stories do the selling. And really, everything I've ever learned about social media has been like the only reason you have content out there. I mean, I put a lot of content out, right? Because I have a brand I'm trying to build. But the business always comes to the stories. So your stories are your permission to sell. Your stories are your permission to go in and get leads and then like tell your stories like about how you're selling houses and how you're helping your clients and your 5-star reviews. Keep that stuff off your feed. So I wanted to share one more thing for you guys just to think about. One more thing to just kind of think about. So I want you to think about letting a system run itself. Because the best part about this is all of this, except for the point of you filming and posting the story, because unfortunately, Instagram has not yet allowed any sort of scheduler to go out for stories, but everything can be done by AI. So today, what this looks like for me is AI finds a listing, AI drafts the outreach. If I'm trying to reach another person's listing, it'll draft the email to them. If once I fully trust it, I'll let it send the emails, but AI generates the poll options and the caption for me. AI tags the leads. Okay, AI then can respond and qualify to leads. So this is where it starts to get really cool. This is where social media becomes a real system. AI triggers the HomeBot report, and then that's where the HomeBot lets the follow-up sequence begin. The only thing you have to do in this entire thing is film and post the story. That's once you get Instagram fully, or once you get social media fully systemized, that's what it looks like. And so those of you who say you don't have time, I'm going to challenge that thought process, because if you could just post on social, you could get 1 million, 2 million, $3 million buyers coming through your Instagram. Would that be worth your time? Because to me, that's 100% worth my time, especially because it takes me a hot second to go do something I'm going to do anyway. My job is to sell houses. So if I'm going to be looking at houses anyway, I might as well turn that into lead generation. And then lead generation becomes easy. So those of you who don't have time, I definitely would challenge you to reframe that thinking. Let's go back to the reframing, right? I challenge you to reframe that into, I'm going to make time. Because what you're probably doing, if you don't have time, is either you're super busy in your business, which is awesome, but what happens when you want to not be super busy and you want to start having freedom, right? You got to have systems. You have to prioritize making systems work for you. Or you're spending a bunch of money on leads, and you're spending all your time chasing them, okay? So if you don't have time, find a little bit of time this week to do one little thing, because this one little thing, other than me driving to the home to take the video, takes me 2 minutes. So I definitely have time for that if I can get a $1.6 million buyer. That's what I want you to think about. And then if you are interested and you want to learn more about how I run this system, because Kate Pollan just said, what AI system do you use for this? I actually build these entire AI systems for agents, is what I do. If you're interested, you can do one of two things. You can go to my Instagram and DM the word capacity to me, and I'll send you the blueprint for how to do it yourself. Or you can hop on a call with me, and I will be happy to walk you through how to do it for yourself. I will show you how to do it. So feel free to do one of those things if that's something you're interested in figuring out. Otherwise, I hope this is helpful. I hope you guys can take one thing from today and learn that mastering social media is not about, you don't have to understand everything. You just got to understand one thing. And then you have to understand how to do that at a master level. Like my motto in life is learn, implement, master, repeat. Learn, implement, master, repeat. Learn, implement, master, repeat. So if you can learn one system and do it at such a high level, it's totally worth your time and your energy to have something that's going to run for you on autopilot. Melanie, I love it. It was super easy. Just did one. I never do stories. That changes today. I love that. Woo! I love that. That makes me so happy. One thing. Just do the one thing, because it doesn't take that long. And the thing is, and here's the other thing I'm going to tell you guys, AI video is going to ruin your business, okay? AI will change your business. AI video will ruin your business. Do not substitute you going out in person to do your job as a human being with AI. Go and do it. So I see so many AI videos out there right now, and I'm just like, stop, that's going to ruin your business, because the reality is people are in this business. They want to work with you because you are a human being. AI will never replace that. AI is going to make it easier, which is why I like to build AI content systems and AI systems for people, but I will never replace myself with AI video. This is recorded. So if I ever do, you can come back and play this for me. But like, don't try to cheat and make up a house with AI video is my point. My point is actually go out and do the video yourself. Have the conversation yourself with people if you're at open houses. and start bringing people in to buy and sell with you. And those of you who are into attraction, working with you, because both of those things will change your life.